Thanks for joining us again on the newsroom. I am Annetta Felix. The Department of State Services, DSS, has arrested Ibrahim Magu, acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. A spokesperson for Magu, Tony Amokedo, confirmed the development, insisting that the EFCC boss was only invited by officials of the DSS for questioning. Magu's arrest comes a few days after Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation, accused the anti-graft czar of gross infractions. The AGF asked President Muhammadu Buhari to sack Magu over some weighty allegations, including the diversion of recovered loot. In addition to allegedly relooting the recovered loot, Malami accused the acting EFCC chairman of insubordination and misconduct. Some unknown gunmen have reportedly kidnapped the personal assistant to the chairman, Nasarawa State Universal Basic Education Board. The gunmen were said to have invaded the home of Jibrin Dadere at Dadere Town in Obi local government area of Nasarawa State around 9 p.m. on Sunday. Confirming the incident, chairman of Obi local government area, Mohammed Yamuga, said that he had summoned an emergency security meeting to ensure that the victims seen and released without being hurt. A group of party faithful in the National Executive Committee of the All Progressives Congress have formed the APC NEC Integrity Group. The group emerged from the non-national working committee of the National Executive Committee of the All Progressives Congress. They say they were constituted to further strengthen and sustain the repositioning efforts of the caretaker Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee of the ruling party. In a jointly signed letter by Honorable Abubakar Sadiq Sadu, chairman, and David Okumba, secretary, the group assured the caretaker committee chairman, Governor Mai Mala Buni, of their support and readiness to work with the caretaker committee in order to restore the party to its prime status. Consultations have begun for another phase of repair works to begin on the 3rd Midland Bridge. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Olukayode Kupola, said this on Monday, adding that the consultations were towards evolving perfect traffic management architecture. Kupola said they are likely to close the 3rd Midland Bridge on July the 24th for maintenance work, as all materials needed for the bridge repairs has been shipped to the country. Kano State Magistrate Court has remanded a couple, Jude Ezongu and Idfoma, in prison for allegedly brutalizing a 10-year-old girl by the name Noma Nandi with pressing iron and nails. The couple was arraigned before the Chief Magistrate of Enugu North Court, sitting in Enugu North Magisterial District by the State Police Command on 3-count charge bordering on attempted murder. Let's go on a break here to bring you COVID-19 updates after this.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
After After testing positive for COVID-19 and spending days in self-isolation, the Kano State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has tested negative for COVID-19. The governor confirmed this in a weekly press briefing on Monday. He said the doctors confirmed his negative status after running the test twice. Chairman, Nigerian Medical Association NMA Nasarawa State Branch Bulus Umaru Peter has tested positive for COVID-19. He reportedly contracted the disease while on field work, attending to COVID-19 patients in isolation centers in Lafia. Umaru, who confirmed his status on Monday, said he is also responding to treatment. As at July 3rd, a total of 65 healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19 in Nasarawa State, with public health facilities workers accounting for 51 and private health workers 14. As part of palliative measures against COVID-19, the federal government has offered 60% debt forgiveness to defaulting radio and TV stations. The affected stations are indebted to the federal government to the tune of 7.8 billion naira. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, made the announcement at a briefing in Abuja in company of the Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Armstrong Irachaba. He said the criterion for enjoying the debt forgiveness is for debtor stations to pay 40% of their existing debt within the next 3 months. On palliatives for the print media, the minister said the government is already discussing with the Newspapers Proprietors Association of Nigeria. Advisor to the Prime Minister for Health, Zafar Mirza, who effectively acts as the health minister, has tested positive for COVID-19. He tweeted the results of his COVID-19 test on Monday, adding that he's self-isolating at home and taking all precautions. Mirza, who's been on the forefront of the country's COVID-19 pandemic fight, joins a list of lawmakers and politicians who have recently contracted the virus. Recently, former Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, main opposition leader and scores of ministers, lawmakers and politicians in Pakistan have been infected with the virus. Many of them, including the 2 former premier and the opposition leader, have recovered. As many more countries approve the use of Ramdesivir for the treatment of COVID-19 patients, the World Health Organization, WHO, has warned that it's yet to ascertain the effectiveness of the drug against COVID-19. Last week, the European Commission approved the drug as treatment for coronavirus patients, following the steps of the US and other countries.
Specifically on Ramdesivir, as you know, there are many trials still ongoing on Ramdesivir, including the Solidarity trial that's looking at mortality benefit. What we know up to now is from the publications that came out of China that did not show any benefit for Ramdesivir, and the publication from the NIH, which showed a reduction in hospitalization of about 30%. So patients who got Ramdesivir had an average hospitalization of 11 days versus 15 days for the ones who did not receive it. We know Ramdesivir is an antiviral drug, but we don't know what its efficacy is. The plan is really to continue with the clinical trials that are ongoing, because we definitely need to answer the questions on efficacy of Ramdesivir, looking at mortality, looking at other clinical outcomes, but also establishing the impact that it would have on public health, because the benefit risk and the cost benefit ratio of interventions is extremely important when we talk about an intervention that's going to be rolled out across the world. So in the coming weeks, I think we'll be in a position to make that kind of to come to a sort of a meta-analysis.
We'll be right back with more stories after this break. Oil prices were mixed on Monday, with Brent crude edging higher, supported by tighter supplies, while U.S. benchmark futures dropped on concern that a spike in COVID-19 cases could curb oil demand in the U.S. Brent crude rose 41 cents to $43.21 a barrel after a 4.3% gain last week, while U.S. intermediate crude was at $40.61 a barrel, down 4 cents from its previous settlement on Thursday. OPEC and allies, including Russia, collectively known as OPEC Plus, have pledged to slash production by a record 9.7 million barrels per day for a third month in July. After July, the cuts are due to taper to 7.7 million barrels per day until December. A criminal court in Mongolia's capital has sentenced former Prime Minister to 6 years in prison for abuse of power. The ex-leader was found guilty of illegally owning protected areas with special licenses. The court said he also gave privileges to a mining company by abusing power in his capacity as Prime Minister. The 45-year-old served as Prime Minister of the resource-rich country from 2016 to 2017. Recently, while in custody, he won a seat in the recent parliamentary elections on the platform of the ruling Mongolian People's Party. Leicester City manager Brendan Rodgers has revealed that the Foxes could still strengthen their attack this summer, and that's despite Kelechi Iheanacho's impressive performance in recent games. The Nigeria international has scored 5 goals in 16 league appearances for the former Premier League champions this season. Iheanacho has scored 2 goals in his last 2 leagues for Rodgers' side, who are chasing a Champions League ticket. Leicester City will be facing Arsenal in the next Premier League game on Tuesday. And that's it on the newsroom for today. Many thanks for watching. I am Annetta Felix.